And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Planet Crafter. We're going to be taking out the rover again to do a bit more exploring and try to find oxygen fuse and or a plant fuse and or both, hopefully. As well as explore the map a little bit more. I think there's technically one more major alien site to go to. But besides that, I think we've hit all the sort of like story critical exploration points. Right across the shallows here. There's a chest around here as well that we may have missed earlier. Well, I say missed. Decided not to pick up earlier. I'll probably see it on the way back, because I'm not seeing it right now. Oh, there it is. What we got in here? A little bit super early. And yeah, initially here we're going to basically be driving back the same way we were before. Well, at this point we're not going to fill the inventory up quite so quickly because we picked up a bunch of the items along the way. So we can drive pretty much back out to where we were, and then we're going to drive on past there. And again, the big reward we're probably going to get out of those chests would be either the plant or the oxygen fuse. I think there might be a third fuse type in with there. Heat and pressure, both of which we found one of earlier. I don't think spawn anymore at this level. Although I could be wrong about that. That's a light change. So definitely entered into a different type of biome. I don't think we've been in before. Interesting. Might have been because we were about to enter that biome. So as we can keep. Oh no, that was this biome down here that we were in. Because I think that's pointing the direction we're pointing right now. I think that's that direction. Another chest. Another rocket engine. Game's drowning me in rocket engines at this point. It's like it intends for me to be using them. It probably is intending for me to be using them. Let's not beat around the bush too much there. Oh, it's raining super ally. Any coming out of these rocks, or is it just incredibly threatening and very unrewarding? Hard to tell. So I can check. Okay, there is a local super ally here. And it does in fact hurt a lot. There goes about half the food we brought with us. Running out of food. Back to the safety of the river. And yeah, I think some other people said on Reddit that is supposedly got a really short despawn time for the super early to sort of encourage you to go out in the asteroid impacts to pick up the super alloy, so there's probably not going to be much about, because it's probably mostly already despawned. As you can see, that does give you a lot of super alloy if you're out there willing to risk multiple impacts like we just did. Now, this neat side effect, I am low on food, so we might have to actually take this exploration a little short, because I'm going to run out of food. In the meantime, where am I on the map? I'm there. Go explore that wet area. Or actually, no, let's go explore that interesting thing over there on the horizon. Looks like plants. Very interesting plants. Oh, it's also right next to the wet thing on the map. Okay. And we do have some, apparently, native butterflies flying here. That's good to see. Oh. You look like ice. Are you going to give me an estimate for when you're melting? 500,000 nanokelvin. Okay, so I'll have to come back here at 500,000 nanokelvin. Guess with that, we get back in the truck. So yeah, that's about there on the map, which is basically bottom right corner of the interesting zone. Probably head over there. Not sure if we're going to be able to cut through the osmium zone very well with the rover. And we do know there was a crash site down here-ish. Here-ish. So if we get the rover there, that would be nice. Let's see if we can do that. Oh, there's a box. I don't think it's my box. Found someone else's abandoned base. Nice stuff in that chest. Welcome to their assigned planet. Reach a blue atmosphere. Well, they obviously didn't because we had to do that. Arima plant. Got a recipe for making some nice. Oh, I'm not able to assemble that. I can just take things out of it. Okay. Got a recipe for the Arima plant. Make some nice tree seeds out of that. So we will go ahead and explore on his underground portion. Well, I wasn't expecting my landing site to be so bad. Okay. Well, he was obviously not successful because we got sent in here. It's been harder than expected. Okay, so we'll have to take time and find those later for reading. Wormer seed. Where we're supposed to find more iridium. Okay, so he's incidental stuff I'm finding along the way is basically implying he had not successfully found his iridium. We'll get certain words out of here while we're here. Let's double below your door there. Yeah, lots of stuff down here. We're gonna run out of space. Yeah, this guy's gone ahead and found that there were quite a few other people sent before him, and none of them went well. In case we run out of some space, I'm mentally preparing to leave some stuff behind on the surface here. I'll back in you quickly for oxygen. Anyway, we take the iron out, obviously. We don't need to bring that back to the base. We don't need cobalt. Don't really need the iridium. Shove that all in there, and then we pull more out of the base. Heading back to our base. More valuable items. Yep, he did not have a good day. All that needs to be said about that. We'll read those when we get back to base. Or you can have paused when I brought those up and read them yourself. I'd skim them real fast, myself personally. So if you're wondering how I read them that quickly, the answer is I didn't. Isn't there another way down from... down from here? That it was like up one. This layer had 2 down, so we've got that up. Or is that the... Ah. It was an up, not a down. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be very full. In fact, we already worked out we're full. I'm just making sure we got it all processed up to the top, so when we come back around later with the empty rover, second trip, we can just quickly load everything in. Oh, actually, auction views we'll want to take with us. Right-click to get the Terra tokens. That's one of the other rare things we'll come across at this point. Nope. Is that a... Oh, let's complain about water. We'll just save some space there. Outside of the Urema, we're going to leave the seeds here. We're coming back to the seeds later. Because I think we need more space. I've got to decide what order I want to take the stuff home on. Oh, I can probably leave the sulfur here as well. We're going to sulfur mine pretty close to where we are. Where our base is. And some of the things like the fertilizer is, you know, a sulfur already converted into something. Some air, pop that thing back in the hole. Finish the looting. We probably don't have enough carrying capacity to get all in more in one go, but that was this side. No, it was the other side. Whoops. There we go. And then technically I could get more metal by disassembling all the doors and all the storages. Mainly disassembling the blue ones because it's a good way to tell that I've searched them and don't have to search them a second time. I'm not going to click on all these messages. I think these are all the... Effectively, this guy had went around and found all the people who came before him and have their messages from them failing... Well, their arrival, less so their failure. Okay, we'll take all that and get back in our rover and figure out how we're going to get back to base. Yeah, from a raw loot standpoint, we got a full rover and arguably lift a locker and a half full of other loot. Although I think we're bringing the best of it back. Here is our uranium mine. Not going to pick up any uranium while we're here. Yeah, the entire time we're working on this, apparently that one plant had physics enabled. As we've been doing this, the planet has been terraforming slowly. Definitely do with it terraforming a little bit faster, but slowly and steadily is better than not at all. I'm mainly driving the rover around because I feel it's a little bit faster for us to moving around with just the jetpack by itself. Mainly bring the rover around because it's faster than back and forth multiple times. Because the rover has so much carrying capacity at this point. So I think I can explore a place where we can get the rover reasonably close, or bring the rover along at this point. Or just simply the number of trips I'd have to take otherwise. At some point, hypothetically, in the long future, we might be able to get the drones to do the transit, so we can basically set up a box and have the drones bring everything over. For the moment, it's just us and the rover. Okay, we're back. Let me put those circuit boards away first. Okay. And we got 3 blue chips, blueprint chips. Let's get those decoded. They might give us some useful to craft. Spacesuit displayer. That'll make it a little bit more interesting to actually go retrieve the spacesuits, because I don't really look at my character, but having them on display wouldn't be too bad. Tier 3 jetpack. Want to go extra fast. Construction menu filter. I suppose I have the inventory space, that wouldn't be too bad. None of those really, I think, help with our initial problems. So, satellite messages, nothing new. We did do some exploration, so we got this one. It was supposed to be a fun, relaxing time turned into a nightmare. A 5-week space cruise across the lesser-known parts of the universe. Unfortunately, our super crew was not able to respond to the seemingly minor incident, and here we are, burying the few bodies we have. Okay, so this is from when we explored the graveyard 2 parts ago. Here we are burying the few bodies we were able to retrieve from the burning wreck. What will happen to us now will most certainly be similar. We are heading west, and let's see how long we can survive. I would say a few days at most. Some of the survivors, at least for now. Ill costs. Has been 6 months since the crash, and I'm barely surviving. My main goal is to build a rocket and leave this place forever. The planet's cursed. I can feel it. I'll have to go back to the crash site. I think there was a secret room in the control bay, a deconstructible wall somewhere near the main screen, but it's been a while since I can hardly remember. And I can hardly remember. Okay. I think we actually... Well, actually... Alclas? Don't know which crash that is. I think that's a... One of the crash sites has a secret wall, so what's that telling us? This is one of the other guys who crashed, or one of the other guys who's sent here to terraform. I wasn't expecting the site to be so bad, but there's no reason for me not to be able to terraform this big rock. I have enough knowledge to succeed. All I have to do is follow the right steps and hope for good weather and not too many meteors. Surely it can't be hard. It's been harder than expected. The outside is toxic, and the seeds won't really grow underground. According to my calculations, the planet will be better positioned for terraforming in about 2 years. Just have to survive until then. And where am I supposed to find more iridium on this planet? I've looked everywhere without success, and there's ice all over. It's critical that I find some to start heating the planet. Everything outside is freezing. I need to sleep, but I can't stop thinking. Tomorrow will be better. Such a sentence for something so small is inhumane. I don't deserve this. Last one is, you sent me here to die. You knew it was impossible. You didn't even care. All you care about is profit and colonization. Whoever thought this was a good idea should go to hell. Pardon will never be part of the plan. Was never part of the plan. Be cursed. Sentinel Corps. So yeah, his slow descent into madness. We know he was there for at least a year because the year ticked over. And he was saying, oh, it'll be better to terraform in like 2 years. So he did not appreciate the amount of time he was going to have to be stuck there. Okay. And we're going to have to get a little bit more food, otherwise our guy's going to get a bit hungry. The beans are ready, so let's make it 2 batches of superfood. And then we can eat one of those. We're a little bit lower on food than we'd like to be, due to meteor impacts on my forehead. We've been turned into seeds. There's one of the reasons I maybe didn't need a bunch more seeds. I'm already having problems with where to put them all. Oh, what do I need to upgrade the jetpack? Super alloy, double osmium, double explosive powder. So we've got all that. That'll be easy to pull out. Double explosive powder. I think I'll put the osmium upstairs. Yeah, I think the osmium's upstairs. And with that, we'll be able to get a better jump pack. So we can go extra fast. And then the new microchip, construction mini filter. Super alloy magnesium silicon. Okay. Silicon. Do we have a convenient magnesium? We're gonna go mine that. We do have some convenient. And the super alloy's upstairs. Well, or in the vehicle. We're gonna pull a bunch out of the vehicle. Oh, I now have the ability to hide lower tiers. Yeah, not sure in how useful that is for the way I do stuff. Unload a bunch of super alloy. Grab some of the iron out of here and make another locker, because apparently we're going through our storage very rapidly. Osmium we put upstairs. Super alloy in the chest with other super alloys. Actually, I need super alloy rods for something, right? The auto crafter. Doesn't look like I can make everything here. Although I could do the silk recipe. Okay. So the thing that I was thinking about doing, which was setting up and doing the silk recipe, we could do. Fuse cartridge, insect multiplier fuse. I don't remember unlocking those. Solar quartz. Yeah, I definitely don't remember unlocking that, but it's apparently an option. It's raining outside and quite loud. My building does not have very good active noise suppression. Okay, so you can pull from the local stuff. Right now that's only you. I'm going to have you autocraft fabric. And then I'll put the silicone makers down there. Make the silk. Finish unloading that. I'm obviously, to make silkworm makers, I'm going to need silkworms. Silkworms come from uncommon larvae. It's also the same for the bees, so we'll probably end up with some bees along the way. Unless the recipe's different. The recipe is different. It's bacteria sample fertilizer. Okay. And what do I need for another machine optimizer? Uranium, double explosive powder, double iron, cobalt, double iron. I need to go out and grab cobalt. Shouldn't be too hard. I think it was uncommon, not common, right, for the silkworm? Yeah. Common we can do with butterflies, although it's the lower tier butterflies. These are also uncommon. Yeah, bacteria, uncommon, fertilizer. Oh, I don't actually have any bacteria samples. Although those weren't, memory serves, not particularly hard to make. them in, make more oxygen. Not sure if those are stacking. I think they are. Yeah, they should be stacking. Yep, looks like they're stacking. Okay, we got you empty, so I need to get the inventory empty more than anything else at this point. And then we're working, potentially trying to get a silkworm. Generator going, which is silkworm, zeolite, water. Which means I need that bacteria samples, right? So the bacteria samples are mostly algae. So go grab like 9 algae out of the water. I can pull water out of the water collectors near the base. Not too many super alloy. I suppose that's a good problem to have. It'd be annoying to have the opposite problem. Okay, now we're at the part where I gotta slow down a moment, and I gotta sit outside and wait for some common larvae to show up. Or not common, the uncommon. So one uncommon. That's the common. Grind slowly and look at the larva we see. Common. Oh, the other thing to maybe build would be the recycling machine. Microchip deconstruction, 3 super alloy. Okay. Actually, while we're waiting, because it's gonna take a little bit of while for these guys to get converted, right? We can start the first one going. Alley-oop, first one in, uncommon, bacteria sample, fertilizer. Common, we're looking for uncommon. Common. Common. You might imagine the common is fairly common. And then from the recycler, so I can set the recycler up while I'm thinking about it. 3 super alloy. Silicon, magnesium. So I need 2 silicon, 2 magnesium. Okay, now I can shove things in here to be deconstructed. Push a button and get the product back out. Or the inputs back out. And we're out back looking for the uncommon larvae. If we get 3, we can make the silkworm maker. And the silkworm maker will help us Earn some, well, not exactly passive money, because every once in a while I gotta go over and pull the fabric out and throw it in the trader, but something that doesn't necessarily involve a lot of proactive work. Be slow and glacial, but passive income is passive income sometimes. Common. And I'm working slowly, partially because you need to give the larva time to spawn in. I think that's still the same common from earlier. Yeah, pick it up. I might actually be tempted to see what happens if I shove these in the cycler. Yeah, let's see what we get if we shove a common in the recycler. We get a common. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna give this common back out. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Got one silkworm. Yeah, I could use some of the mutagen, I suppose, to make some generic butterflies, but without butterfly, because I don't want to build a lot of the big ones. I want to build the exterior ones. So we're gonna spam them. Without the exterior ones, we're not gonna need a place to put them. Getting pretty close to tier 2 optimizer. It's a good way off. It's not the next one, but the next one is the butterfly farm. We're getting pretty close to the outdoor farm too. I do believe we get a more active way to get these guys to show up later on. Rare is rare enough. We'll definitely pick it up. Not for the recipe we're currently working on, but yeah, we're going to pass up the commons going forward. Uncommon, that's actually what we're looking for. Let's run inside and get that sequencing. There we go. And again, we need 3 of those for what I'm trying to currently craft. Common, not what we're looking for. Common, not what we're looking for. The rares we're going to want for butterflies and such later on. The uncommons we're wanting for the silkworm. And probably more bees, if we want more bees later. I think once we get the silkworm maker going, we'll go ahead and put a part break in. Go exploring a different direction. Might intentionally try to go to where I think the Warden's keys are used. Try to advance the alien plotline a little bit more. You are common. Again, with the level of plant life we have down here, it's a little bit hard to find insects in all the grass. I'm mostly trying to avoid this area. Although it does have some decent particle effects, which probably not actually very good for the recording. That's some rocks. Okay, let's go get some water so our guy doesn't die of dehydration. There we go. There's a larva of some sort. It's common, not what we're looking for. Common, not what we're looking for. Let's check. My beans grown again? Might make some more food for our character. Yeah, the beans have grown, which probably means the honey's back. There's a common. So as while we're waiting, we can be working on potentially putting another tree spreader up again. Biomass, tree spreader. Oh, and I'll need another... Need another biosample if I'm going to do the tree spreader and the silkworm that we're missing. It's easy enough to do. I'm just going to grab 2, 3 of you. Two, 3 of you. That's a 2-2 fertilizer. We have... And a super alloy. Oops, I don't want to change the name on the cabinet. Yeah, they've got convenient pictures. I definitely don't need to name each cabinet. Flop on over here. Tree sample or tree spreader down. Suppose I can fly back quickly. Get the tree seed underway. There's another silkworm. Needing the zeolite. think I have another zip line. It wouldn't be that hard to find in the environment if I didn't. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we're just short the silkworms. We're just short the uncommon larva. What are you? Common. Shame. Common. Uncommon, that's what we're looking for. Okay, it's under progression. And you need some time. We'll do some of the local exploring. There is an area nearby we can do some exploring while waiting for the craft, before we bring this part to close. Up here in the Iridium Cave, now that the plants have started to grow in here, you'll notice there's a proverbial beanstalk up to a higher area here. We can take the beanstalk up. I'm not necessarily going to do a particularly thorough search of up here. There should be the odd chest with stuff up here. Okay, let's come back here for that. Empty a little of the inventory, and we'll go back up there and retrieve it. Oh, and I have another chip to decode. Let's do that quickly. Interior wall. Need even more storage capacity. I'm apparently hoarding too much stuff and not making enough stuff. Although in this case it's mostly seeds, right? I'm just not making enough things that consume seeds. Are you done yet? You're done. Okay, so I can get the Silka guy going. You're not done. Okay, so I'll have to come back for the tree seed. Let's get the Silka going in the meantime at least. I want to put the silk maker, say, down here. Do you have to be inside is what's going on? I think this needs to be inside. Okay, this might be slightly annoying because that means I need to do the autocrafter. Door farm's done. Yeah, this needs to be inside. Okay. Okay, put it in there. So put it upstairs then. Put the autocrafter near it. Anyway, this every once in a while makes a thing of silk. And the autocrafter every once in a while make a thing of silk into, well, a couple things of silk into a fabric, and we can sell the fabric for space dollars. Give me a new fancy type of tree. Start spreading. Yeah, so I think that we got everything unloaded. We got the tree makers going. I feel like I have more stuff in the inventory than I need, at least for the stuff I was planning on working on. Oh, I was in the middle of, that makes sense. I was in the middle of looting some chests from there. I didn't completely unload from that yet. Let's go grab that chest, and then we'll bring this part to close. There's probably more up there. Probably haven't done a full circuit up in the higher level up here. But other way, we'll go back up again. We'll at least clear out the chest we started the looting. And we've got a finished project sort of there. And then we can go exploring in the next one. Again, terraforming progress is coming along. It's coming along a bit slow. But I think that's just sort of the pace of this game in the late game. Things just slow down a little bit. Give you a little bit of time to go explore as well. And I should probably not bring that many rocket engines along. Don't think I need 4 engines. Just randomly camped in my pocket. Put the pulsar quartz someplace else. It's not much better, but that's where we're gonna put it. Okay. The water, grab a little bit more. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm gonna take a short break here to get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea. In fact, replace the cup of tea, because the cup of tea is about to disappear. So this will be a slightly longer break. We are going to record another 5 parts tonight, so we'll make quite a bit of progress as we work through exploring the world. Sometime during tonight, we'll get to the O2 stage, unless we get like a breakthrough on some of the projects and get moving a lot faster. So until the next bit, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Get you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.